I've had 5 babies, so here's all the things I would recommend adding to your baby registry. First up is this Mom Cozy baby wrap. My 5th baby was extra clingy, and so I have gotten so much use out of this. He loved this baby wrap so much because he was so close and snug to me, and I love it because it is way easier to use than traditional baby wrap. Having this just allowed me to get so much more done around the house or when my baby was sleeping, and we still use it now when he's 1 year old. If you're going to be outside with your baby a lot in the summer, I definitely recommend getting the mesh one as well because it is super lightweight and breathable, so you and your baby don't get overheated. I do recommend putting 2 of these baby wraps on your registry because they are so affordable, and then you can have one in your house and one in your car. I think all moms need to have the Frida baby snot sucker. My baby got horrible RSV when he was an infant, and this was the one thing that really did give him some relief and that the doctors kept recommending we do over and over. Of course, you definitely want to have a good thermometer on hand, and I recommend a contactless one for babies. I've tried quite a few, and this one is just my favorite because I found that it's the easiest and most accurate with my kids. Another thing that I have loved having with my last few kids is a camera in the car so that I can see them when they're rear facing. I love these way more than the baby mirrors that you can usually put on your headrest because I just feel like I can see them clearer and easier. This car seat cover is not only a car seat cover, but it's also a nursing cover, and it's my favorite nursing cover because you can just slip it over your head and you're completely covered. You can actually use this for a lot of different things, but again, I always keep one in my house and one in my car, so I always have one when I leave. This is the baby bath I have used with pretty much all of my kids. I honestly just love this because it is so simple to use. Some baby baths are just so over the top and they end up making your life more difficult. So this one's really easy to use, really easy to clean, and you can store it on the wall when you're not using it. Choosing the right baby swing can be kind of overwhelming because there are so many different options on the market, but this is the one that is my all-time favorite that I use with my last 2 babies, and I honestly just think it is such a good swing because it mimics the natural movements you make with your baby as opposed to just like the normal back and forth movements that a traditional swing will do. It has a ton of different settings, and it also does sounds and music, and you can also take the seat off and move it around the house or switch the direction that your baby's facing. If you're going to be spending time outside with your baby, I definitely recommend getting this Fisher-Price Baby Dome. We use this a lot when we went to the beach and also in our backyard. It's just a nice, comfy, shaded place to put your baby down when you're outside with them. And actually, I just recently saw that they have one now that has like a projector light in it, which I thought was really cool. Baby socks do not stay on babies. They're constantly kicking them off and then you lose them. And so I definitely prefer these baby booties. They snap around your baby's ankles so that they stay on and they don't get kicked off as often as socks do. And you can get like a lightweight one for summer and then some thicker, nice warm ones for winter. I try to do whatever I can to minimize my babies getting sick. But when they're little, I was constantly using this sterilizer and sanitizer because it's going to completely kill all of the germs and bacteria that get on their things. These Mebby Baby muslin sheets are my absolute favorite. Come in so many cute different patterns, and they're also super soft. But I also recommend always having like some cheap backup sheets. Mattresses are another thing that are hard to choose from because there's so many. But I love this one because it is double-sided, so it has a firmer side for when your baby's an infant, but then you flip it over and use the memory foam side when they're a little bit older. As you can see from this side-by-side, it's just a lot firmer and more comfortable than a mattress with springs. This is my favorite sound machine, not only because it has a lot of really good sounds to choose from, but also because it can be controlled from an app on your phone. So if your baby's sleeping on you and you need to turn it off or on or change anything, you can just do it all from your phone. I also recommend getting a portable sound machine for the car just to help your baby fall asleep or to help soothe them when they're in the car. And my all-time favorite baby pacifiers are the Bibs pacifiers because not only are they super cute, they come in literally every single color you can think of. And I always recommend getting a pacifier clip so you don't have to worry about ever losing it. And the silicone ones are really nice because then they can chew on them when they're teething. I have tried so many different swaddles, sleep sacks, and I have come to the realization that the Love to Dream are my favorite. First reason I love them is because they're so easy to use. You literally just zip them up and then put them to sleep. There's no wrapping, there's no Velcro. And also babies just love having their hands by their face to soothe themselves. It's kind of how they are the whole time they're in their stomach. So I think just being able to fall asleep like that really helps them. We used this Baby Delight seat so much with my 5th baby because he really did not like to be laid down flat. He did have acid reflux, so having him sit so elevated in this did really help, but also he just liked sitting up high and looking around. And then we also did really like this seat because he liked being in a sitting position before he could actually hold himself up. We also used this one to feed him sometimes, and it had a little spot where you can like clip some toys on, which he enjoyed. Cradle cap is so common in babies. All 5 of my kids actually had it. So having this Frida Baby cradle cap system on hand is just really nice when you start to notice the buildup. It really does help get rid of it. Another great thing to have in the car is a little toy mat. It's just nice for your baby to be able to look at something and play with something when they're in the car, especially if they're a baby who doesn't normally like the car. Choosing the right car seat and stroller combo is probably one of the hardest things to do when you're pregnant because you just want to make sure you get the right one, and it's such a large purchase. I highly recommend this Even Flow single to double stroller because even if you only have one baby, if you plan on having more, it's great to have because you can convert it to a double stroller once you have more kids. And the whole converting process is so easy, you literally just push a button. Also, clipping the seats in and out is super easy as well. This system is going to come with your infant car seat, your base, and then one toddler seat. And then I just bought the additional second toddler seat once my baby got a little bit bigger. Of course, diapers and wipes are a great thing to put on your registry because you're going to go through them so much. I love these ones because you get so many and they are sensitive and non-scented. Having a stroller caddy is a must because you always have things in your hand when you have kids. This way you can just throw them in there and go. And this one is super cute. I have two different kinds of bibs that I love. The first are the silicone ones with the little catchy compartment because they catch the food, obviously, so it's less mess. And also because they're silicone, they're just way easier to clean. Then I also love the full sleeve bibs. It took me a while to get on this trend because it does seem odd at first, but it just really helps keep your baby clean when they're eating, and that is honestly so helpful. There are going to be times when you're going somewhere that you feel like you don't need your full diaper bag, and so it's really nice to just have a little clutch like this to just put a few diapers and wipes in and a few extra things you need. I also love that the wipes are so easy to access in this one. I honestly just keep this in my car at all times so that if I'm going somewhere, I know it's there and I'm not going to be without diapers and wipes. And then another super cute but a little bit more expensive option for a small diaper bag is this Itsy Ritsy one. With this one, obviously it's a little bit bigger so you can fit more stuff in it, and it does come with the changing pad. It's honestly just very cute, and I can't believe it's a diaper bag. These are my favorite milk storage bags because they are so easy to pour the milk in. There's literally nothing worse than spilling your milk and wasting it. So I love that with these, you don't have to worry about that. It's definitely a good idea to have a thermometer as well, just to make sure the water's never too hot or cold for your baby. These large muslin burp bags are my favorite because not only are they very soft for your baby, but they are also very big. So they cover a large area in case your baby spits up on you. Also recommend a electric nail filer because then you don't have to worry about clipping your baby's fingers. We all get a little nervous when we use nail clippers, so this just makes that process a little less nerve-wracking. Another great thing to have is this little elephant shower head. You just set this in the bath and then the water flows through to the shower head, and then you can use this to rinse your baby off, and it's just a lot easier and more gentle than using like a cup. And then your baby or toddler is really going to enjoy playing with it when they get older. Bassinets are another thing that is very hard to choose from. So I used this one with my 5th baby and I really, really loved it. It's probably my favorite one I've ever had, and I've tried a new one with like all my kids. I love that it's a bedside one and that you can unzip it so it's easy to grab your baby for nighttime feedings. It's also very large, as you can see from my kids playing in it. So there's a lot of room for your baby to be in it and to grow with it. And then another cool feature is that you can actually unzip the bottom and then it lowers down to the ground and turns into a little play yard. And then it's also on wheels, so it's just really easy to move it from room to room. This is the playmat that we got with our 4th baby, and I got a lot of use out of this. He really loved being on this, and I love that you can kind of slide the toys around based off of how your baby's laying and which direction they're facing. And then for an activity center, we really loved this one for our last 2 babies. I love that all of the toys are removable, so you can like take them off and sit with your baby and they can play with the toys on the ground as well. But the coolest thing about this is you can actually turn it into a little play table once your baby gets too big for the activity center, so you're still getting use out of it. I have had this high chair for like 3 years now and I still absolutely love it. I'll be honest, I did choose it because I really like the aesthetic of it, but it is also just a really good high chair. It has the footrest for your baby, which you really want in a high chair, and then it also has 2 different height settings. But I did just come across this high chair and it is so cool because it converts into like 10 different things. As you can see, it can be a high chair, but it can also be an activity table. It can also be a Lego table, a play table, a table for them to sit and eat at when they're toddlers. It can even be a step stool, and the whole conversion process is super easy. I highly recommend having a retractable baby gate, especially at the bottom of your stairs. They're really nice to have just because you can get them completely out of the way when you don't want to use them. And they do have a locking mechanism so that your kids can't like push on it and fall in. I love this particular cart cover because it comes with a pillow, which I feel like they all should, but it just helps support your baby. And then it also has a little slot to put your phone in if you ever want your baby or toddler to watch something when you're shopping. Having a diaper cream spatula is a must. That way you don't ever have to use your hands or your fingers to put the diaper cream on. I have like 10 of these all around my house and in my diaper bag. My favorite baby bottles are the Event baby bottles because they're just classic and easy to clean, and my babies have just always seemed to like them. My favorite baby monitor ever is the Miku Pro baby monitor because it monitors your baby's breathing without having to put any kind of sock or like band on them at all. I can't tell you how much peace of mind this gave me when I started transitioning my babies to their own room. And I also never had a false alarm with this, so it is very accurate. It also gives you a summary of like your baby's sleeping patterns and cycles, and then it also gives you notifications when your baby has fallen asleep or woken up. And then it is also a sound machine, and you can pick all of those from your phone as well. You can also buy a stand separately in case your baby's sleeping in a bassinet and you still want to be able to monitor them. The only thing I don't like about this camera now is that they did recently start making you pay $10 a month for the live breathing monitor. So if that's not something that you want to do, I would recommend getting the Nanit. It is very similar. The only difference really is that with the Nanit, your baby does have to wear some kind of like wrap around their stomach to help monitor